Hey everyone, it's a raspberry, and ever since I've been, doing this kind of like murmur style of commentary, I've just been, calling myself a raspberry, I guess, in some kind of cringe fashion of my YouTube handle or gamer tag or whatever. We're going to be completing Valor 3 today, which is the one we actually completed just today, thanks to the help of a bunch of super helpful people like Wolf and Bluebear99. Super helpful players, super good parkour players in general. Wolf is a lot more on the rank up side, whereas Blue Bear is a lot more about Segmented and OJ. So, getting both sides of the coin is an important thing to getting better at parkour in general. So without further ado, let's begin. The hallway has been designed by Alpha Eclipse, and Liberations has done, I believe, some of the parkour. Time to start a new checkpoint. Again, this is going to make heavy use of the turn mechanic. And while this jump may look, a little bit difficult, it's because the apex of the jump in Minecraft is about something to the effect of 1.2 blocks on a head-to-head. And so that even though it is, more than a block, it is very much possible to complete that jump. So again, this is something that's going to require a bit of that head hitter. You hit your head on the section, and you immediately afterwards, and as soon as possible, as soon as you get to this one, but without minimizing your, while trying to maximize your travel time, you want to hit a crouch, and with that, you've landed on this block, and traveled up the ladder. And with that, you travel up there, and you've made it to checkpoint 2. Good job. With this one, you can also, make it without the ladder. It's again a 4-block jump, so that is a bit more iffy. Again, because this is in the positive Z direction, it is possible to sneak right up to the block and head hitter it without, consequence. So you can do a sort of head hitter timing if that's something you happen to be more comfortable with and know how to do better. I find personally that there's a bit of a joy in, running it up and that sort of thing, but I also like to get the head hitter timing right. Yeah, see, it's a matter of getting the flick and the head hitter timing right. And you don't even really need that ladder there, so you want to crouch back because otherwise you're going to hit this glass pane. You hit this glass pane. You jam by pressing W and space at the exact same time. Sometimes you have to get the space and press a little bit harder. And then you press one tick after jamming, one tick after you press the sprint key. Kind of like that, but I'm still, trying to get that timing right because it's kind of late for me and, skill issue and all that, so. But you want to get it to the back of the block because otherwise you're not going to have enough travel to make it just like that. And you will make that jump easy peasy. I think if you practice this, you can practice catching the ladder. It's relatively straightforward if you get a bit of a run up. And even if you don't get it the first time, nobody's perfect. You will do just fine, and you have made it, and you will eventually make it, or you will eventually make it to section 3. Well done, Librations, and well done, Alpha Eclipse. See, this one. This one is going to be a bit tricky because in this case, it's not going to work to just jam or head hitter it because there's these blocks in the way and this one, and you're going to have to make that ladder. So in this case, it'll work best for you to run up and try and line yourself up with this jump. And you want to get a bit of momentum in, so that way you can turn in and make it all the way over that way. Making these jumps in particular, once I get back to, flawlessing this jump, like the expert parkourer that I am, ignore these, failed attempts at, I merely, demonstrate for the sake of tutelage. It's not me actually, having skill. But again, you can head hitter and turn to, make for a smoother parkouring experience. Jump here with the head hitter timing. Remember that trick that, I should have followed as the demonstrator. I sometimes fail simply to, give teaching moments in the parkouring experience and to assist struggling players in their quest for parkour excellence. Not be talking it up like I'm some crazy good sensei or something crazy like that. I'm just here to yap. Who am I kidding? I like to yap. I like to yap a lot. There's a country called Yap. I would be the president of it if, the requirements for being the president of Yap were to... I guess that'll be fun. I guess I can drop the Bob Ross facade for a bit. And just, be in my own skin for just a sec. Remove the skinwalker flesh that I so often carry. But with this one, yeah, you just jump up that way. And the beauty of getting a bit of a diagonal jump and then turning and then watching the jump just disappear before your very eyes. Nothing quite like it. And with this one, it's a matter of getting a bit of a Pessi timing. Pessi timing is good for jumps like these, which are a bit more tricky. But last, we've made it to checkpoint 4. Now we get it to the head. This is one that I was stuck on for a very, very long time. This one you can head hitter because, making it to the side, while possible and very doable, is a lot more difficult than what I was envisioning. So I saw a player, running up to it with momentum. Then you can flick it and then catch the ladder right at the very edge. Yeah, this is more approaching the limits of what I am capable of. But so what I understand, the best strategy is to simply, angle yourself like to the back, try Pessi timing, and angle it in just a little bit, but not too much, and you should be able to clear the block, no problem. So jumping from the eye is critical. And then you can just jump and hit that maximum momentum that you can. You want to jump from the snow to, maximize your chances of making the block ceiling just as so. And with this, you want to try and head hitter this jump. You need a bit of practice, that is all right. And sometimes in the practice it works flawlessly, and in the real world it just is nothing short of pain and sin, as is demonstrated by my profound lack of ability and reason to listen to my own instructions. I promise this is worth watching. I promise this is something it's worth investing your time into. However, how can I possibly convince it when my abilities are so completely bananas and off my rocker that I can let something as silly as sleep get in my way of recording this? The perfect practice making perfect might not be the case. Sometimes practicing in general is a little bit more detrimental to one's parkour ability than trying to, simply go for the jump, which is the case that many old players make. As to why some parkour genres are a little bit lower quality, because they encourage more of what's called prac spamming. And I can see how this one would encourage it. It encourages, again, precision, timing, but sometimes an overt reliance on checkpoints and save states. But sometimes you do find the sweet, sweet secret to a jump. And then most, if not all of your efforts become worth it. Or, you belittle yourself and say, wow, I can't believe how stupidly easy that jump was. Why did I take so long in performing it? You know, you could take it either one of those ways. But, needless to say, it's going to be better if you're kind to yourself and wish yourself better. And, you know, stress less about the things of life. Sometimes just go for it, even if you're scared that you'll hit something stupid and fall. But now, to checkpoint 5. Ah, yes. It's a matter of also getting that timing right. But in this case, I recommend familiarizing with yourself with the jumps beforehand. And the timings, because sometimes they're much quicker than you'd let on, and it's not that easy to, you know, let go. I must be really getting tired. But yes, it is possible to do these jumps. It's a matter of getting the timing right. They're not unsimilar to the jumps that are being done before. It's just that they have that extra element of time added to them, meaning that they increase the stress, meaning that you have to perform under pressure, which in this case is actually a good thing. I like these jumps. They're very challenging and good. Now we're at checkpoint 6. We can turn in and make more of a point. Again, standing over here. And then we crouch over this way. And it's a matter of getting the flick right. Because you can get it, and again, you can hit the ladder when you're over there. So, the side of the ladder. This one's a bit strange, because it looks rather unintuitive, but I had to spend a lot of time to get this jump right. Again, a lot of these jumps require precision and tactic. Things which the strategist I took this from said that I had to do 3 shift taps and run about 5 ticks, which is a bit of an interesting timing for sure. I'm not sure why I'm doing a British accent. Must be the sleep deprivation. Sometimes parkour is very much that way. Petulant and uncooperative. And with sensations of desiring to simply throw all of your equipment out the window, because surely it's not a problem with you. It's your machine doing this for the umpteenth time of the day. Ah, yes, that's the one. You have to more run along it straight. You have to do the shift taps, yes, but you also have to run along it straight and then turn as you jump. So with this one, it's fun because there's that. Again, more of a turn and catching the edge. That's something I've grown to really enjoy about this. But then again, I'm a bit of a sadist in that regard, where I enjoy inflicting pain upon myself learning this kind of stuff. Yes, checkpoint 7. Look at you. You've made it. You've made it this far. Pat yourself on the back. Again, crossing it through that way is probably my favorite way of doing it. But then catching the ladder like this. Running up like this. Ah, yes. This is sort of double neo. Or knee down even. But if you are facing the positive Z direction, you can crouch right up to it. This is the one where if you went the X direction, you'd have to do 1 or 2 shift taps backwards to, make it around. But since we're facing the Z direction, we can crouch right up to the edge, face a little bit outwards, and then turn like that, and you should be golden to make it. And granted, it's, half a slap down, so it's not as high of a risk. With this one, I just recommend chaining it all the way to the end. Congratulations. You've made it to section 8. I think with this one, you should try to shoot for that. But I think it's possible to do that sort of thing either way. However, with this one, you have to actually shoot for that way. And apparently, up here, there's the OJ attack that, you know, it's pretty difficult, but you can come back to when you're more skilled. There's a tag sign that you can get up there. So it's a matter of getting it to work and cooperate, but sometimes it just doesn't want to work. So not going to lie, it's a bit jarring to make it so many times, and then the course of a few hours. This took me about 4 hours my first time through, and I did just finish it today, so the memory should still be very fresh. However, it seems as if I'm only getting worse with every jump. How could this possibly be? I'm not sure why the British monologue decides to just hop on for random reasons. Again, I think I can make the jump around. This is a deceptive hitbox. These hitboxes are wider than they look and shorter than they seem. So it's, you know, classic, you know, Minecraft jank. So, you know, you gotta love it, you gotta hate it, but you do have to, you know, kind of come at it in a diagonal and work with the, you know, jank with that. Again, knee ups, you want to not do that. I think I'm better off with the other side, so I'm gonna go ahead and, you know, make it a point to work on that side instead. So I'll be right back once I get to it. Managed to make it somehow. Not sure how, but you do want to kind of slightly curve it in. You can make it a bit more this way. It seems to, you know, be safe. You don't have to want to crouch all the way back, but moving it a bit forward is, you know, good practice, if you will, for, you know, actually making it. In this case, I think max force momentum is in order, so maximum practice is in order, so. Why? It's the practitioner's curse. It's just a matter of getting it. Forget it. I'm just going to, you know, go back to that and make the jump as I can. Not worry about, is it too far? Is it to make this kind of thing? Is it a couple of shift taps from the back? Sometimes, my friends, you just have to juke it. Sometimes you just have to juke it and YOLO it and move it forward and not worry about whether or not a jump is precise or not, and just go with gut instinct. Sometimes that's just a matter of how you have to do it. It's simple as that. Sometimes it's a matter of going with your gut. For example, my gut is telling me that I need to, you know, stop playing this game right now. And it'd be a good idea if it wasn't a matter of I need to get to work in the morning and I need to stop doing this to myself and, you know, pushing myself to do something that very few people will ever probably see. Oh my god, this is the proper opposite of, you know, uplifting commentary. But, you know, it's real. It's what I feel. It's what I've experienced. It's what I'm trying to do on this journey of making videos and expressing myself on the internet. And finding people that I care about, but at the same time who also enjoy what I make. And who are willing to help me make something great. It's currently 10:34. Been at this for a while. Ah, come on, why can't I get that simple timing? I can get the rest of this just down pat, but I fail at a simple max force momentum jump. How could I? Some things are best to just not question. Some things are best to just do. Either way, the sensitivity's turned up crazy high, so if I, you know, give out any frustrated grunts that are a bit loud, it will not sound good in the recording, and I apologize in advance for that. But here we are. We've made it this far. And frankly, I guess this is just a side effect of the sleep deprivation I've experienced at the hands of parkour. It's not something healthy, something I need to work on. Because the best parkour I've ever done is on a full night of sleep with minimal practice. And next to, lots of breaks. That's what I've found works. Oh hey, look at that. It's Go Reds 99. An interesting character. It tends to show up sometimes on the server. Very likely a young child of some sort. One that thrives in environments where, this kind of attention-grabbing behavior is common. Yes, you've finally done it. Oh, good grief, that. Not the easiest. But hey, we've made it this far. We have 49 hours of playtime. And we can work through it. We can jump this way, jump up this way. You should have grabbed shift. Again, remember, shift with ladders can sometimes be a lifesaver, so make ladder jumps that you normally wouldn't be able to. For some reason I like to go left. I'm not sure what my preference is so often to the left. And this jump eluded me for a while, but this is where we bring out the sword. And the sword will set you free. But we have to shift all the way this way because of that tiny hitbox right there. With this one, do a head hitter overlap. And with this one, simply doing something similar where you crouch to one side and move in that direction. But, instead of failing it like I did, you have to shift and move very carefully. And move in such a tactful way that you cannot ever fail. But we'll be back. Max this out. Go over here. Fall to the side. Head hitter this, if we can actually get the head hitters to work. Head hitter timing. For some reason I'm better at head hitter timing than other modes of Minecraft movement, than jam or perhaps something like that. But crucial for this section. You do really need it. So now checkpoint 10. We've made it. So in that case, it will be useful to run up and hit these ladders by chaining them. Could work for either side. I like to do a little bit of changing things up sometimes, so yeah. Okay. Sometimes it's a matter of crouching, sometimes it's a matter of strafing. It all depends. I guess my accent finally decided to turn off. At least, it's tapering away, meaning that at least some of the hyperfocus is starting to wear off. But in this case, this is where I was struggling a lot. So with sleep deprivation comes sleep skill issue. So there are moments in parkour where you are cooking and moments in parkour where you are cooked. There is no in between. Or at least, very seldom. Moment of stupidity. Lucidity and stupidity combined. You really know I'm starting to struggle for commentary when I'm starting to come up with words like these just off the top of my head. Good. See, with that one, it's more of a matter of the turn again. So that's the more crucial part. Again, the more tired you are, the more I recommend practicing. The newer you are, it's not so much about being new, but rather about having that safety. Like that. Fortunately, even the best of safeties can never really outpace human error. Kind of like that. Again, coming from the outside, running straight in, much like previous sections that relied heavily on that. Again, jump from the head. Again, this calls back to, harkens back to the moment when we had to, avoid cobble ladder, pain, cobble wall, that sort of thing. So, see, this is again deceptive because it asks. And we'll just have to start from the back again. But in that case, we'll be back. There we go. Here, and then once we land onto the post, we straddle over that way. And we fall, of course. Average, parkour gaming session moment. Okay, so now jump up here and we've made it. Now we're good. We're at section 11. Again, this one's a bit of an interesting one. This is where I had to remember a bit of this. You have to line up because there's a lot of neck threading the needle style jumps that you have to go through. This is why I'm glad I recorded this now, even if my muscle memory is shot to hell. I need to, in that case, you've lined up against this, you want to hit up against that, line yourself up straight as you can, and then just the maximum passy time you can do without, of course, messing up your momentum. It's a matter of figuring it out. Kind of like that, like so. With this one, again, more of the run straight, turn in midair kind of thing, where you have to turn right as you jump. And with that, you can then move forward with a jump that's, a bit more, along the side. But I recommend, getting a feel for it with a little bit of practice kind of thing. This is definitely one that's going to require maximum force momentum, which is currently beyond my skill set for some reason right now at this point in time, unfortunately. But, we'll have to make do. I really don't even need max force momentum for this jump. Here we go. So we don't need max force momentum for this jump. Thank goodness for that. Again, another very precise jump. I recommend one of these sword shift taps to the left or to the right, depending on where you're headed. And a bit facing outward. Yes, just like that. Instead of facing inwards, you'll face slightly outwards. And but be careful not to overshoot. And yeah, it's a matter of threading the needle is a bit difficult to get hang of at the first. It is very doable. It is something that's possible. Even if right now I'm completely trash. There we go. And it's just a matter of sneaking back a little bit down that way. So, well done, Alex. Who? Checkpoint 12. So now it's a matter of, again, that overlap. It's a matter of thinking as, as much as you can outside of the confines of the portal or of the conventional block. Has to be directly in front of me in order for me to perceive it. It's again striving for that. And again, the particular joy of getting a turn in jump right. once it comes, it's, seldom goes. This one's a bit tricky. Again, the cobweb is a very intriguing, very, very special sort of jump. So again, we sprint to the edge. And again, we have to be very careful because there is that sort of thing. So I think it's a matter of sneaking to the edge and again, head hit a timing, but towards the middle. Oh, that's free. There we go. And then I think it's a matter of running up to this edge and doing a bit of, again, momentum timing. And you should be good to go. Again, I do recommend practicing some of these, especially if you're as cooked as I am right now. But, sending it in. The glass pane is deceptive as well, so. But what's even more deceptive is thinking you've got to jump and then not going for it at all. That's great. Sprinting, sprinting, sprinting to the edge. So we can get this over and done with as quickly as possible. There we go. Slight turn in. And then, not sure where to go from here. But, yes, the iron bar. Right here. Yes, the negotiator. The detested block. Of many. Mostly me. I really don't like iron blocks. Iron anything. Checkpoint 13. Head hitter central. This one you can head hit it pretty freely. Again, the 3 and 2.5 and then 2 block ceiling again. Again, PESI strategies coming in to save the day. But do recall that you can't hit the you can't be pressing space when you hit that. So again, just friendly admonition. So okay, we're good. We're in the clear, and we are at checkpoint 14. Yes, this one is a bit tricky because there's water involved. But what I recommend for this one is to jump up and try and time your bob to as high up on the travel as you can. And that way you can then turn in, press shift, catch the ladder, and slowly sneak into this section. So then you can just sneak on this way. And, you don't even need to really hold shift. But the trick is to turn out and then not hold space. Then, and also not falling that way. But, we don't talk about that. And then the water blip. Again, it's a matter of, hitting it on the corner to then go up a block instead of just, cobble. And with this one, another example of crossing the paths, you want to pop it up like that and then hit that and strafe it in and press space again. It's a matter of timing the bob and the weave. And then catching the ladder and not catching the ladder because you're bad. It'd be crazy if I beat this in under 4 minutes, but not impossible. It's alright. Pretty cool, but I'm not counting on it. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. Want to turn a little bit more that way. But then, so, there we go. Catch the ladder there. And with this one, you also want to stand off in that ledge. And jump over that way. Spooky noises. This one's also one you benefit from chaining. Which I unfortunately did not get the chance to, but either way, it's salvageable. But you want to stand at the edge. And, again, something that catches you at the very end, always. But, it's an interesting experience, segmented. Because it carries a lot of, similarities to one jump, and that many jumps are precise, but it also carries that, it's a bit of a blend of one jump and rank up in a way, because it has the more precise jumps of OJ of one jump, but the more nuanced and skill-heavy consistency of rank up. So you have to get good at doing many sections over and over again, much like with rank up, where you have to do certain rooms again multiple times. Excuse me. There is so much more that you can just learn from and see how many similarities exist between the parkour genres. And instead of looking to find ways that, oh, this is different, I don't like this, and I don't like people that play this, we can celebrate our differences and at the same time find common ground that I feel is so often unexplored. This little late night parkour philosophy with Erasmus, I guess. Okay, so now we're back. My mistake was not just going overly speed, but also realizing that there wasn't, something that way. I would have made it the first time if I remembered that this was here. However, now that I know, I can hit this checkpoint. We've made it to 15, and we are right there on the cusp of it. Victory is within our grasp. Again, more of that's just a matter of precise timing, and we have to backtrack because it looks like, yeah, there's no way the slimes are going to take us all the way there. But in that regard, we have to, do a slight turn in to make that jump. This one I find is best with force momentum. Again, maximum, but as you can tell, for me that's very difficult. Something that I find very difficult personally to do. And again, everyone in parkour is going to have their strengths and their weaknesses when it comes to the video game. And again, everyone's going to have the moments of struggle, the moments of weakness, and shared strategies that work for everyone. Just what I also like about the spirit of one jump, and, well, granted, any rank up in general. It's like, this is the strategy for this jump. We found that this works for this jump, and there's these common terms, and the ticks, and the timings, and the strategies, and I find that to be something very, very good and very useful, and very, reminiscent of what the parkour community used to be like back in the early days. And I think that we still have fragments of that preserved in our terminology, in our ways of being. There we go, that did it. And from here, we have to turn it over this way and actually hit it properly, because otherwise we're not going to not just make the slime jump, but not make the jump at all. Then just sending it over this way. And again, making it to be focused on the jam part. That's really what gets me in. But standing over here, running for a couple of ticks, turning it a bit, that should do it. And again, because this is Z facing, again, recall this entire hallway Z facing. You can sneak up to this edge, jump around this corner, and miss the jump because I wasn't properly careful with how I did my head hitter timing. So I guess I'll just have to retrace my steps. It's alright. I don't think Pessy is going to work really well for that. I think it's better to, use just a run up and then loop, especially here. That way you can catch it better because you have more of the upper, ascension or, vertical momentum. That's right. There we go. It's more of a, getting that turned in right. But this one's pretty free. You can just go over this way. If you're good enough, unlike me, you can even just make it as is. But alas, we've made it. You've made it to the last checkpoint of this entire section. This one. Another threading the needle. So, yes, just like that. You have to, to thread the needle very carefully. And this jump also, very good strategy from Bluebear. Standing right at the edge, right up against the glass pane, facing in this way. And running 5 ticks and then turn about 5 ticks, and then turning in as much as you can run on that, and then turn in and hit sneak, and let go of sneak when you can, so as to, you know. In that case, this is a bit tricky because if you land on the ladder but under more of that sort of thing, you can make the jump, but you can't really jump over that way. So this one, I think, is more of a turn in, kind of like that, yes, and then turning out kind of like that, a bit of a jolt, if you will. You still kind of move in, but also strafe in. Jump over this way. You jump from the top of the ladder. That way you can do a bit of that head hitter thing. And this one, this is where head hitter momentum and head hitter timing is crucial. Yes, the strafe is important, but nowhere near as important as the timing for your jump. And you can land it like that. And you need to practice this as much as you can. And sometimes you need to take a break because everything is just hurting and in pain and it shambles. It is 11:17 p.m. We've made it this far. Completely cocked we are, but giving up we are not. Perhaps it is best, you know, we've had better fortune in the past with we've practiced a lot with that, but we've had better fortune with turning inwards. We have the head hitter time pretty much down, but the turn seems to be a lot more consistent in this mode. And sometimes when you've practiced enough, you just want to go for it. But, you know, you don't have the guts for it. The relaxation aspect of this is really hard to maintain when you've been at this for hours and it's right there within your grasp. And you're starting to fall back into the accident. And you're starting to question yourself and your ability. We've beat this before. Why can't we beat it now? Probably because we're tired. We're staying up late. All things that you really shouldn't be doing. Again, straight posture really does help when you're gaming. You know, have better control. Alright, time for the fluke. It doesn't work again. But that's alright, because we're getting pretty consistent with pretty much every other jump on this list in this section. So, good job on us for making it this far and cutting our time by at least 30 to down to 30% of what it used to be. And good for you for sticking it with me this far, even though I sometimes find myself to be rather insufferable in my commentary. But at least I hope this was relaxing and somewhat even weirdly entertaining for you to watch, because that's my objective. I want to capture you with the passion that Minecraft parkour has, that has captivated me, countless others, in its horrific yet unequal clutches. Maybe if I think about it more like a single Neo, rather than this overly complicated jump I have to do. I have to avoid the copper walls. Maybe I'll have a higher success rate. And so it would seem that even with sleep deprivation, thinking of it in a familiar sense is a great way of getting better. Once you build on the intuition of habits past, even if you don't make it the first time, or the second, or the third, or the 14th time you've tried it. Sometimes it's just a matter of going for it. Even if you're not ready. Even if you don't feel capable. Even if you don't feel equipped to handle the challenges ahead. Simply trying, you'll get far. You'll get really far. Rather than if you ever never tried. If you simply went, oh, look at this cool parkour someone did, and never bothered to try it yourself. And see how far you can get. Oh, but I'm too busy. Oh, but I'm too young. Oh, I'm too old. Oh, won't be interested. I'm not someone who's good at this sort of thing. Good. Neither am I. Neither were any of the good players before starting. So, it's not an excuse to not try. But again, seeing the familiarity in certain jumps. Like this last one. Maybe these cave noises I keep hearing every once in a while are just the sounds of knowing the place from whence one jump and segmented parkour when conceived. The bowels of the darkest places. No, I'm kidding. I wish them all the best, and may they find many servers to be happy in. Because rank up servers, they're a dime a dozen. Maybe if I think of this simply as another Neo I have to do. It will become more consistent. And even with my thorough sleep deprivation, I'll be able to overcome it. If I think, oh, this is just a simple Neo I have to complete, not some overtly challenging gauntlet where I have to avoid hitting a wall. No, I just have to curve in, do a good old jump that I'm familiar with. Carrying that muscle memory over will eventually allow you to land the jump. I think I found it. I can't believe it. It can't be serious. How am I making it this consistently when I'm this tired? It's a matter of still just facing in. And then, who knew that? Simply staying turned in. It's the secret all along. That looking away from what I was fearing was keeping me from this. Maybe it is possible. Yes, look at that. With thinking and getting in your own head, you can overcome much adversity, including in Minecraft parkour. That was another episode, you guys, of My Brain is Completely Fried. You know, usual brain dead Minecraft commentary, but that was another episode of HPK Valor Segmented Rank Ups Completion. I hope you enjoyed the relatively insightful commentary. It started to become a little bit more brain dead closer to the end. However, this is not the end. We're going to continue once HPK is back online to continue working on Valor 4 and on Alpha Rank Up 6. And maybe someday I'll break the 420 OJ points, once the meme is, lived long enough, and decide to, get better at one jump. In the meantime, keep playing parkour, share these videos to let people know HPK is coming back. Thank you for watching. Have a good one. Goodbye. Farewell. Goodbye.